start out, Mr. Chairman, and tell us a little bit about where you see the race right now with only, I think we just said 47 days to go?
Well, I think Chris continues to run strong. He clearly has a comfortable lead in the polls. We might see some movement in that. This is New Jersey, after all, with an incumbent governor spending millions of dollars and a voter registration advantage that makes these races very competitive. So if we see some tightening, it's not going to deter what we're doing on our side. We're very pleased with where we are. I think the message and the contrast between the candidates is clear. Jon Corzine has failed the people of New Jersey, given us the highest tax burden in the nation, doubled unemployment in his 4 years in office, the highest unemployment in 32 years, destroyed 200,000 jobs. Foreclosures were up 50% alone in August 2009. So the failures of Jon Corzine are clear, and Chris Christie's kind of hopeful alternative to that and a very clear vision for where he wants to take New Jersey has been articulated. That is, he's going to cut spending, balance that budget, make New Jersey more business-friendly by reducing taxes, reforming our tax code, and cutting regulations, and even attacking junk lawsuits. So this is the message and the contrast, I think, is laid out there. And what you've seen is, I think what you're seeing is kind of the race stabilizing in this 8-9 point range, and if it tightens, it's tightened. But I do think that Chris is extraordinarily well positioned going into the last 45 days.
Are you concerned about how much money Governor Corzine still has to unload between now and the election? I think I read in one article, it might have been the Politico piece from a couple weeks ago, they said that he planned to unload $20 million between now and Election Day. Are you confident from the perspective of the Christie campaign and also from the state committee that we're going to be able to weather the storm?
Well, he outspent us 11-1 over the summer, and our lead increased. So I think what you see is that there's no amount of money that Jon Corzine can spend that can change people's conclusions about him. And they've lived with him for 4 years. They know what he's done to them, and he's just not going to be able to change their mind. Now, he can say a lot of bad things about Chris, try to make people think that he's an unacceptable alternative. But at the end of the day, those attacks aren't credible. And even if they raise some doubts with some voters by the sheer volume that you're seeing on TV, folks know that what we have is completely unacceptable. And they're willing to give somebody new a try. And Chris has laid out a positive vision for people to grab onto in a time of crisis. I think that will overcome whatever spending advantage that the governor might enjoy over the next couple of weeks.
Something else I think that the media, at least in New Jersey, hasn't focused enough on is the state of our legislative races down ballot. And I know that you have done a lot of work, trying to rally Republican organizations across the state to work for Republicans up and down the ticket. What do you think the state of some of our key down ballot races are? And do you think Republicans retaking the Assembly is a real possibility in 2009?
Well, I think our down ballot candidates are performing very well. There are a number of districts in play here in September of 2009 that we didn't expect to be in play first half of this year. But in large part because Chris has run so well and because the climate is so positive for Republicans, we're seeing districts crop up and be competitive that we didn't expect. So we're talking about Gloucester and Camden counties, the 4th legislative district, Middlesex County, the 19th legislative district, 22nd in Union County with Linda Stender and Jerry Green being incredibly unpopular. All of a sudden we have chances for pickups that were unexpected just a few months ago. And so I think whereas we were looking at certainly a pickup of seats, maybe 3, 4 at the beginning of the year, 5 or 6 at the outside, now the possibility of a Republican majority in the Assembly is not out of the question. I wouldn't predict it. A lot of things have to go right, but things are lining up to the point where we are much more competitive than we were last in '07 and certainly at the beginning of this year. And so I'm excited, and I think our candidates continue to work hard, and Chris Christie continues to drive his message of lowering taxes, cutting spending, that our down-ballot candidates are going to have a real chance to make an impact.
I know that when I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to Chris back in the spring at the Atlantic County Convention, one of the things I asked him was what he planned to do to rebuild the New Jersey Republican Party, because that's been a frequent criticism that people have brought up about the prior Republican administration, that not enough was done to strengthen the NJGOP, strengthen Republicans at the county and local level. With all the things that Jon Corzine's done wrong, and with as strong as candidates like Chris and other people down the ballot have run and the effort that they put forth, do you get the sense that the Republican Party is growing in New Jersey, that we're making gains, and that people are paying attention to us in a way they haven't in recent years since we've been such a blue state?
Yeah, I think that's right, Matt. Absolutely. Our numbers are growing, but almost as important, the brand is coming back. And we're seeing that in polling numbers and anecdotally. The Republican Party brand has been kind of on the out over the last several years. And 2009, that's shifting. That's changing, and people are starting to look to the Republicans for an alternative to what the Democrats have given us for the last 8 years. And that's I think, a necessary precondition to reviving the party and rebuilding the party. And of course, we need to win this November to continue that process. But I think that's what we're going to do. I really do believe that Chris is going to win. I believe that we're going to have many more members of the Assembly than we do today. And on that foundation, we will start to do the kinds of things that will make our party much more relevant and eventually become the majority party in the state again.
And the final question I have for you, Mr. Chairman, is that, Save Jersey, we have a large Republican audience, but we also have a lot of independents, even a lot of conservative Democrats, people who are, if they share one thing in common ideologically, it's that they believe in corruption-free, transparent, affordable government in New Jersey. Heading into the final few to several weeks here, what do you want to ask these people to do? What do you want to challenge them to do to make sure that November 3rd ushers in a new era of accountability and affordability in Trenton?
Well, I would ask the readers and the bloggers to remember that one person can make a difference. I mean, I really believe that, and I got involved in this business climbing uphill because I thought that one person's voice could make a difference in the Republican Party and in the state. And I'm convinced that if somebody wants to put their mind to it and give us the next 45 days to really work hard and tell their friends and their neighbors about Chris Christie and the other Republican candidates in their county and volunteer their time to the Republicans' Victory 2009 campaign, that New Jersey can be different, and it can be better. It can be more transparent, more ethical, more affordable. If enough individuals decide to make a difference, there's no stopping us. One person can't do it alone, but every individual decision to get involved adds to our effort to take back the state. And I would just welcome and invite anyone who wants to get on board. Please do it now, because time's running out, and you don't want to wake up on